I want to talk about football. I'm ready to talk about football.
Oh, are you recording?
Football,
yeah,
football,
Liz,
football,
congrats,
football.
you just had your podcast debut.
Congrats, you just had your podcast debut.
Nice.
Get
We're
out of
gonna
here.
edit it.
Oh, you a
It's gonna be
pussy?
gone.
It's a family-friendly
What-
show here.
What's she saying?
Yeah, Jesus.
What's she saying? Wow. As quick as she entered, as quick as she leaves.
Yeah, Liz is now off the podcast. I'd like
Liz is
everyone
off
to
the
know.
podcast.
More fake plastic things to lick.
No, it was rock salt. Or an ice melt.
I licked it. It was salty.
Okay.
She looked ice
No.
melt.
Anybody that's not in the context of what's happening.
Okay. Let me
Yeah.
explain it real quick. No,
Licking windows and doorknobs. Freak.
Arthur. So we opened the gate that goes to like the entryway, so we could, try to teach him like, hey, like you can't go over there. Like, this is where we come in and out, so we can leave his car seat there, and we can go. All right, hey, we're gonna go bye. We can leave, and he'll go over there. And it's been cold. I salted. You're bringing it on your shoes. Oh, he picked up a piece of ice melt, put it in his mouth, and spit it out. So Liz is like, "Oh my god, what was that?" And licks it. What is it? Oh,
He licks
it's
it.
salty.
What an idiot. Fucking licks it. Arthur, I understand because he's got, IQ of 7. But
he's 17. His IQ is 17 because he's 17 months old.
Is that how that works?
I don't know. He's
how old is Liz in months? 240? She just picks it up and licks it? Oh, you know how many things I'm just going to drop by her and see if she picks up and licks? Pennies. Dryer length.
No.
Is this chocolate?
No, I will say that goddamn.
Yeah, that's great for the audio listeners.
Holy crap.
Oh my god, he shifted the dock! He moved the dock all around.
All deleted that.
Oh, I will say that you guys remember when the Switch came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, the cartridges, they're bitter, they're covered in this stuff, so little kids don't put them in their mouth or they'll spit them out." I'm like, bullshit, that's not true. So I grabbed one of my Switch games and I licked it. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking disgusting." They weren't lying.
What? Like that whole household is just lick. I'm gonna have so much random shit in my pockets that I'm just gonna drop. Oh, this is gonna be such a fun game. Oh god, this is gonna be great.
The Vikings suck.
Yeah, the Vikings are pretty bad.
I told you they'd lose. Again, that team is awful.
Sam Darnold out there seeing ghosts again.
Well, even defensively, that team, they just struggled. I mean, it's tough to stop Puka and like that team when they get hot, but Cooper Kupp was not even a factor in it.
I think
yeah.
Cooper Kupp pissed off somebody.
He angered somebody.
My man is not getting any targets.
No, he's not getting shit.
They're not even looking his way anymore. All right, welcome to episode 22 of the Game Time Gents podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Nardi, with Fish and Zoltowski, as always.
Hello.
Hello.
And we're going to have a little different setup for the show this week since we're in the playoffs. What we're going to do, we're going to first start about the recent coaching changes. There's been a lot of them going on. We're going to overview the Wildcard weekend matchups and also go over the matchups for next week. The divisional matchups, is that what they call that? And then conference matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do have a new segment this week called Trivia Time. Who's that dude? Basically what this is, I'm going to go on the internet, randomize an NFL player. I already have them. I have 5 of them lined up. Zoltowski and Fish are going to compete against each other to see who can guess the player. They'll each get a question, and then they will take turns seeing if they can guess the player. They can ask anything, like where the guy went to college, how long he played, who he played for, if he's an active player, not active player, anything like that, just to see if they can guess the player. First 1 to 3 will get the victory there. And then we will, as always, close this episode with a draft. And this episode is going to be the best fictional products from TV shows. And boys, we have to include the TV show and the products. So hope you did your homework on this one.
I already have enough homework. Why are you doing this to me?
I'm just putting it out there. It's going to be an interesting draft. So let's get right into the news. I mean, there's been a lot of head coaching changes going on. We'll go through who's been fired first. The Falcons have fired defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake and defensive line coach Jay Rodgers. The Miami Dolphins fired special teams coordinator Danny Crossman and Wes Welker, the wide receiver coach and pass game specialist. The Raiders have completely cleaned house. They got rid of Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, the GM, Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator, the quarterback coach, Rich Gangarello, hope I said that right, and then the offensive line coach, James Craig. The 49ers have gotten rid of the defensive coordinator, Nick Sorensen. They could possibly be bringing back Robert Saleh there. Not sure. That's one of the rumors out there. The Titans have fired general manager Rand Carthon. The Colts fired Gus Bradley, their defensive coordinator. Another defensive coordinator that got fired was Lou Anarumo from the Bengals. One of the offensive coordinators for Seattle got fired, Ryan Grubb. And then a couple more head coaches that got fired were Doug Peterson and Gerard Mayo. And we already knew about Matt Eberflus, Dennis Allen, and Robert Saleh before we started this. So pretty interesting. A lot of vacant openings there. You boys have any idea who may go where or heard any rumors out there?
I haven't heard any rumors really for anybody. I know obviously we talk about a lot. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn are probably both going somewhere. I think the one I know he has Aaron Glenn has interviews with the Raiders. He's interviewed with the Jets. He declined the Patriots interview, but it sounds like they already had their mind made up anyways.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, anywhere's a good fit for those two guys. I think they can take what they have and work with it wherever they go. So, I mean, you saw that with Aaron Glenn this year and him stitching together his defense through constant pickups and drops and signings. And then we've seen what Ben Johnson has done with that Lions offense and all the weapons that they have there. So,
yeah, I saw Anzalone came out and he was giving a lot of praise to Aaron Glenn. He was talking about how he's pretty much on par with Dan Campbell when it comes to, motivating the guys and sticking to his guns and stuff like that. So pretty high praise for him.
Yeah. I mean, I say this too much. It's a weird time to be a Lions fan. I'm so used to the team just being ass, and the past 2 years have been great. Even past three, honestly, when we went, I think it was 9-8 or 8-8, almost made the playoffs, knocked Green Bay out on the last game of the year. But looking at Dan Campbell as a coach, I'm glad that his coordinators take his personality traits, and mesh them, and that just means that they're going to go off and do great things. I think wherever they go, it won't be an immediate turnaround for that program, but I think in the next 2-3 years, you'll see those programs that were in the dirt rise out, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. The first domino's already fallen. The Patriots hired Vrabel. There's been rumors of who the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are going to be. The big rumor is Josh McDaniels is going to come back as offensive coordinator to work with Drake May. It's also been rumored, I know I just said he might go back to the 49ers, but Robert Saleh might be the defensive coordinator for the Patriots going forward. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I think that's a really good hire for the Patriots. They've got, kind of a Patriots legend back as their head coach. And if they can get McDaniels back, there's not many play callers better than Josh McDaniels that the league has seen. So I think Drake May will really skyrocket in value there if that all ends up happening.
Well, even on the defensive side, too, if they end up getting Robert Saleh, I mean, he was making, granted, he was the head coach for the Jets, but I mean, he was making a lot of those defensive calls, especially back when they had a solid defense. Just the offense just could never produce what the defense did. So, I mean, if the Patriots get all three of them, I mean, we're looking, I don't think it's going to be, 3-4 years down the line. I think they'll make an instant impact, and especially with the players and the young talent that they have. they haven't really splashed cash on any big names, so they got all this salary cap to really kind of do whatever they want. And if they get all three of those guys, they could be like, hey, we want this, this, and this, especially with Tyreek Hill being out there saying he wants out.
Right.
I mean, you never know. So, I mean, if I'm a Patriots fan, if I'm sitting in bosom shoes, I'm excited for, like, yeah, we just got done with our dynasty, but everything shaped out too well. I mean, last couple of years have kind of been little duds, but draft well, play the sudden. I'm not saying that you're back, but Drake May look pretty good with, essentially zero talent around him. So, I mean, things are looking good. Things are looking up, unfortunately, for the Patriots. So, I mean, if they get all three of them, that could be a big issue for a lot of teams out there.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Fish. Especially if they draft well. Drake May did look good. I know we've talked about that before. And they get these guys on there that can work with them and really just make a scheme that works for the weapons that they have already and the ones that they get. I think the key for them is, like you said, drafting well, though. Because, I mean, again, you said it already, Drake May working with, like, nobody. They get him two somebodies, and that Patriots team, I think, has a winning season next year.
Because their defense wasn't half bad. The only person that they don't need is Deontay Johnson. They don't need him. He's never been a number one, arguably not even a number two. So I think if I'm the Patriots, though, in all seriousness, if I'm the majority of these teams, now you bring up a good point about McCarthy being out. Does Jerry Jones go on the Deion Sanders route? He played with it, yada, yada, yada. I think there's just too much ego on one team. I hope it implodes, hope it happens. But if I'm the Patriots, I'm staying away from all those egos. Anyone that's going to carry any type of baggage at Deontay, even a Tyreek, we saw what he, said, from year to year. I'm excited. I love this team. Can't wait to play for them. And all of a sudden, they don't do well, and then he was like, "Nah, I'm out." We don't need. You don't need those players in the locker rooms, right? And that's something that Belichick had never really put up with when he was with the Patriots. So I'm kind of hoping that Variables also has that same mentality and he's not going to put up with the shit. So, I mean, we'll see as we get closer to, draft day. And, I mean, this is an insane amount of changes for coaches, head coaches, OCs, DCs. If you're like anybody, if you're not a janitor or working the staff, you got to let go. So it's just an alarming amount of opportunities for a lot of people to kind of switch around. And obviously some of the bigger names out there, being with the Browns and Dallas, everything, and the Patriots, everything they got going on. So it's definitely interesting and keep an eye on it. But things can get very, very interesting here soon, especially closer to the draft date. So.
Yeah, and you brought up McCarthy. McCarthy and Dallas have mutually parted ways, so he wasn't in the firings category per se, but he's no longer the head coach for the Cowboys. The Browns, I will bring this up real quick. We did fire our offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, as well as our offensive line coach, Andy Dickerson, after 1 year. Both of those guys were only there for 1 year. The offense put up the least amount of points per game in the league, and we have promoted from within for the offensive coordinator position, Tommy Reese. He was our tight ends coach last year. And also we have a new offensive line coach, Mike Bloomgren. He has been the head coach of Rice University for, I think, the past 5 years. So going to be interesting to see how well he does there. He's got some ties to Bill Callahan, who was our offensive line coach for a while. It's really when our offensive line was really good. So hopefully he can, come back and get that spark back into the big boys up front.
Yeah, you guys need something.
Let's talk about the rumors going on. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of rumor mill going on, mainly around Deion Sanders and the Cowboys. There's been a lot of rumors that Jerry Jones has been in talks with Deion Sanders. I believe Deion Sanders has confirmed those rumors, and he said he's been having conversations with Jerry. It's always nice to talk to Jerry, I think is what he said. There's a lot of rumors going around that if Deion does take that job, then Dallas is either going to offer a trade package for the number 2 pick with the Browns or the number 1 pick that includes Dak Prescott, the Cowboys first this year, and the 2026 first round pick for the Cowboys. So
are you buying a Dak Prescott jersey now?
if he comes to the Browns, I guess I have to.
Oh God, now I was going. Yeah, here we go.
What can go wrong with a quarterback from Texas that wears number 4 coming to Cleveland? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with the last Deshaun, last time he wore that jersey there. But here's the thing, right? I mean, you guys are sitting pretty at, what, the number two pick?
Yep.
I mean,
number 2.
If I'm trading, and I know it's just a rumor, but you would hope in your sake, right? You're getting another aging quarterback. He's got a shit ton of money tied into him. One, are you going to have to help pay any of that contract? Because you know Dallas is going to try and load the majority of that off to then, get Dak off his payroll. 2, you're swapping first round picks. I mean, Dallas did not do great this year, so I mean, what? A matter of 5-6 picks difference, really. But then you're adding a next year first round. I feel like for the number 2 pick, you're almost in a power position where you can really barter with as much as you want. I don't know. I know it's a rumor. I don't think your organization needs the Dion Shadur. I mean, regardless of how good he might be, whatever it may be, I don't think you guys need any egos on that team. So let Dallas get them. But even if you do trade with Dallas and that trade package, I mean, you guys got to ask for something more, instead of getting an aging quarterback who is coming off injury with a fat contract. You're swapping this year's first round picks, and then you're picking up next year's first round, which could be, early 20s, late 20s, depending on who they draft and how well Shadur goes if they go that route. I don't know. I'm more curious to hear your position. What do you think? What I mean, if you're the GM, right? If you're the owner and you're sitting at number 2, Dallas is calling you. You got old man Jerry Jones calling you about a trade package. What do you want? What do you want from the number 2 pick? Do you go the route of drafting a young quarterback for your own, or do you do some type of deal?
I think what the plan is that I would do is I want to get that. If we stay at number 2, I would want to get that defensive end or that linebacker from Penn State. I forget his name. Abdul Carter, I think.
He said he wants to be
by
the way, let you know.
I'm sure he did. He's going to have to, I don't know, have some off the field issues if he's going to drop that late in the draft. But
don't count Howie Roseman out. I'll do something crazy.
No, the thing that's most enticing to me is getting that 2026 pick, because no matter where it is, if the Browns suck again next year with Dak, if this all happens and goes through, then the Browns can leverage those 2 first-round picks and move up and possibly get like Arch Manning. I think the quarterback class for next year is going to be a lot deeper than it is this year, because right now the 2 quarterbacks everyone's talking about is Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Not really sure how good either of those 2 will be. Shedeur is like a giant question mark to me. I mean, he's got all the hype in the world around him, but who's Colorado really played? And when they've played someone difficult, have they had success? I mean, we haven't really seen them go that far. Did they finish the year ranked?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so. They were ranked for a hot minute, but
yeah, they were ranked for a minute, and then I don't know. I just think
they were ranked 23rd going into the Alamo Bowl, and they lost to BYU 36-14.
I think, and this may be a little messed up to say, I think Jerry knows he's not going to be around too much longer. I'm sure he wants to see another winning season or, possible playoff push. And if this is the way he can see it happening, we're either trading for the Browns number 2 pick or the Titans number 1 pick, I think he's going to do it and get Dion in the building. And if anything, he'll just make more money with Dion being there.
I think if he gets Dion in there, Dion's going to want him to go for the first pick just so he can secure his son.
Shedeur.
Yeah, lock in Shedeur. So I feel like
I don't think the Titans would. I don't think the Titans are. I think they're staying with Willie Jeans for another year.
I think you're right. But I think they're gonna go for someone else instead. I don't know who.
The Travis Hunter.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Arguably going to be Travis Hunter. And we don't know what position he's going to be at, but I don't know. Titans need a lot of shit. They need a good receiver. You never know.
I know the people listening are wondering how are the Browns even going to afford Dak? Well, that's another rumor we can bring up. This isn't a head coaching rumor, but talking about Deshaun Watson, they've got, I think it's $120 million wrapped up in him over the next 2 years of dead cap.
Way too much money.
Well,
I'll take a
they
percent.
may not need to even pay him that.
Are you talking about the video?
Yeah, he has.
Perfect.
He has gotten Achilles surgery. He was supposed to be in a walking boot for 3 months. He has posted videos on his TikTok of him not being in a walking boot. He has rolled his ankle recently and had a setback, is what the Browns said initially, just because I think they were doing some investigation before they came out and said he did rupture the same Achilles again. But it seems like the Browns might be able to waive the rest of his contract. And if that's the case, then we're in a prime position to make that trade. I mean, I think Dak could have some sort of success in Kevin Stefanski's offense. I don't think he's a horrible quarterback. He's probably middle of the pack Dak, but
Yeah,
He's got more targets to throw to.
he'd have more targets to throw to than just CD.
I'll give you that.
although I do miss a CD force, down everybody's throat kind of thing. It was nice to see him hit 22 targets and catch like 17 of them. So
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
I think
But-
too. Go ahead, Fish.
no, I was gonna say I think you're right. Even if somehow you pull up that trade, right, that kind of opens up the doors for way more salary cap than what you guys had thought. So it kind of brings in additional opportunities on offense and or defense to kind of beef up that team, right? Like you said, Dak is not going to be the franchise guy, but he has been known to win. He's played in those clutch performances. He's won those big games. He's been in those shoes. He knows how to play. He knows how to play quarterback, right? Granted, last few years we don't know if it's McCarthy or the OC or regression, whatever it may be. I think you guys would be fine. Now I don't know about your division. I don't know.
Division.
I guess the Ravens. I mean, it's going to be very tough, but I think you guys could hold your own, especially with like the young guys, the young studs like Tillman and a few others that you guys got. Nick Chubb having a full actual season to get his grounds back. Ford looked good. Dak being your bridge quarterback for a year or two is not the worst thing in the world. One, you're not going to overpay for him. You're probably going to few years, X amount of million, which isn't going to break the bank for you guys. I don't know. It seems like a likely thing. I don't know, but I'd be curious to see who else is floating out there at the end of this season. Whoever gets released, whatever it may be, contracts coming up. Look, Daniel Jones, if he doesn't take over the reins, I mean, you got Sam Darnold, who might be a thing now. You just need a quarterback to hold you over for a year or two that you guys aren't going to go, 3-15 at. So.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens in Minnesota too. I have a couple theories on that, but we'll see how it plays out. I know that they just lost the other night, so they've got a lot of time to think about that. But
They got mollywopped again. I just got one more comment on the Browns thing before we move on.
go for it.
Is just to, I think you guys have enough leverage there. Like if they want that pick bad enough, you could have them eat a good chunk of Dak's contract as well.
Yeah. See, that's what I was going to say. I think we're either going to take some of it on or all of it on, but I think you're right. With
You're more,
as much
you're
as
more
they want
likely,
Shador.
yeah, you're more likely to just take some of it because of how badly they want that. If they want that number 2 pick bad, and they'll do anything to get it, and you're like, hey, you got to do this too. I think they'll go for it.
Yeah, it'll be like what the Rams or the Vikings when we ended up getting Sam Bradford. They ate most of his contract. We essentially paid him like $4 million a year while he played for Philly. So you would hope that Jerry Jones kind of he starts to lose it a little bit more, and he goes, yeah, we'll absolutely eat that contract, get rid of Dak, a young guy. So I mean, he's got enough money. That team, I don't think they've really dove into. Well, plus they had to pay Parsons. They had to play, a few other guys there too. I don't know. Jerry's got a lot of shit to think about if he wants to keep his core 4 or 5 players there.
Yeah,
I mean, they
he
can't
does.
disperse and then bring on Dion and let him go. Cool. Oh, great. We got nothing but high school kids here. So it's going to be a problem. I think it's just going to be battle of the egos if he does go there between CD and Parsons and Dion and his son. It's just, I think that we're going to see Dallas in a lot of the headlines, but not in the positive light. And I can't wait for it. It's going to be very exciting.
I was about to say, as an Eagles fan, you have to be ecstatic for that.
But he's pumped.
We love it. I honestly hope like I said last night, I think Jerry should live about to 140 years old and stay owning Dallas Cowboys, at least till I'm gone, and then he can do whatever he wants. So,
and if he keeps putting that salt on those McGriddles he eats, Jesus Christ.
God.
He puts a lot of salt on those things, but still kicking. I mean, once you're a billionaire, who gives a shit? So,
yeah, fair enough. He's probably got so many doctors at his beck and call because of how much money he has.
He's flying doctors in from Lithuania and shit just to check on his BP. So I think he's fine.
Can we stay in the AFC North for a second and talk about this other topic we got here about Mike Tomlin possibly being in the hot seat?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
I don't think he is, because in the since 2018. So this year, Steelers 10-7. Last year, 10-7. Year before that, 9-8, 9-7-1, 12-4, 8-8, 9-6, and then in the 4 playoff appearances, they've all lost in the wild card round in the past 5 years. The 4 they've had in the last 5. I feel like it would have been sooner. Like already, like, hey, this has been a trend now, and we always talk about how they're really, really shitty the first half of the season, then all of a sudden they win 8 games and they squeeze into the playoffs at the very end of the year. Now this year it's complete opposite, where they were really good for the first half of the season and then just absolutely shit the bed. And I feel like it would already be a thing if he was in the hot seat.
See, I don't know. I think he's in the hot seat. It's just, that's a lot of years of losing. I mean, they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. And for a winning franchise like that, it's not gonna fly for much longer. I mean, he can have as many winning seasons as he wants, going +1, +1, +2, and getting to the playoffs. But if he keeps losing the wild card, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Because from what I'm hearing, he could also get traded. We could also see a head coaching trade if they want to get something out of Tomlin. They may not just get rid of him, but I don't know, man. I know Pittsburgh fans, they always comment on whatever the Browns Twitter is doing, and Browns Twitter does the same thing with Pittsburgh Twitter, but there's a lot of people that want Tomlin out just because of his lack of ability to win these past, 9 years in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, in his career, he is 8-11.
And a lot of those wins came in the beginning where the big argument there is the teams he had were still built by Bill Cowher. So that's another big argument too that I keep saying.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, just like I said, the past couple of years, it's been the same story. Why is it all of a sudden now? Like, why wasn't it last year when they went 9-8 or 9-7?
Because I think it's been since 2018. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of the same result. Either losing the wild card or completely missing the playoffs altogether. So I think that's
2016, they lost in the AFC Championship to the Patriots.
Right.
And then after that, they were the first seed in 2017. They lost in the divisional, and then wild card.
But I mean, you look at it this way, right? It's like I don't necessarily think he's under the hot seat just yet. I mean, he has been going to the playoffs the last few years, which some teams can't say that in the last 30 years. In a tough division that's been there for the last 4 or 5 years, ever since Lamar really came in the league and Burrow was there, your division's not an easy division. So I think this still warrants a little bit of an, oh shit, you guys made it to the playoffs with that division. So I think that there is some stuff there. I think he's just a piece or two away. And you're telling me, and I know you had Ben Roethlisberger, but you also had an aging Ben Roethlisberger when they lost those few games in the playoffs and the wild cards. But then you go back, you got Justin Fields, you got Russell Wilson, you got Mason Rudolph was your starter. There hasn't really been an elite level talent, right? We saw flashes in the pans with Russ, saw flashes in the pans with Justin. Even Mason Rudolph had a good game a couple years ago. I think he's one piece away. I think they give it to the end of this year, right? If they draft a quarterback, I think, okay, here's the owner. This is the year that we can figure out if you're worth keeping or not. And then if it's not the case, I don't think they let him go. I think somebody scoops him up that morning. But a trade, a head coaching trade, would be very interesting. That you bring up. But what would you really give up to get a coach like that? Would you slide into the head coaching spot, or would he go into a little bit more in the background, a little GM action, or the big boardroom, or does he slide into a DC or an OC? I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, what are you willing to give up for a Tomlin type talent?
I'm not really sure what I'd give up. I mean, he's a good head coach. There's no argument to that, but I mean, good is the enemy of great, like if you're just going to be happy with what they've been having for the past 6-7 years, then I don't know.
I mean, Pittsburgh fans are weird, man. So they might just be okay with it. But I think he doesn't go if he does get traded, or team trades for him. I don't think he's going head coach. I think he's going back to his roots as a defensive coordinator. Because I mean, we always talk about the Steelers defense. The steel curtain. I mean, they looked great most of the year. And they have always had a pretty good defense.
See, so I don't think anyone would trade for a coordinator. I just don't think that would ever happen. But I think people would trade for, like what Fish said. Maybe he'll get traded, then he'll get promoted to maybe somewhere in the front office, like a GM or
he's not
president of player personnel, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to figure his connections. At least he's not a dumb guy by any means. He's very successful in the league. He's smart. I don't know. We all thought Belichick was the man, the myth, the legend. He eventually lost his job. So it might be just coming down to, not like you said, kind of go back to your point. You've been there for so long. Last few years you've had some success, but not the success that you've shown in the past. But I do think that they're only a piece or two away. I mean, they got 2 stud running backs. If we can get past if we can get him lined back up and locked in, and not so much this diva receiver mentality, oh, I'm going to tweet about this, I'm going to say this shit in the interviews, stuff like that. If we can lock him in, he would be a good number one. I don't know. Their defense has always been solid. I don't know, man. It's tough. Do they need a punter? Do they need a better punter? I really don't know. Because Chris Boswell has done well too. I think they're one piece away. I don't know what piece it is, but they're one piece away from being insane. And it might be just a quarterback. Maybe they've had too much Mason Rudolph, Justin Fields. Maybe they get a young stud in there that's just a little bit above average. Hell, I know we said it earlier, maybe Dandy Dimes. Maybe he swings in. Maybe that's the team that he needs. I don't know.
I will say one thing. I can't wait to see the 30 for 30 on how Tomlin was able to balance the egos of Juju, Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson. It's just
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell as well. I mean, it seems like every receiver that leaves there that's had a decent season is just a head case somewhere else. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like, look at what's his name? Chase Claypool. The Bears traded a 2nd-round pick for him, and he's not even in the league anymore. So, I don't know. Tomlin, it seems like we always have this, or we've had this conversation the past couple of years. this conversation's been going around the rumor mill, but I think if it keeps happening, then his seat's at least warm right now. I don't know if it's like red hot, but I think you could see a change in Pittsburgh, if not this year, next year, if the result is the same.
I think next year would be a more logical approach to that.
Yeah, I think let them see what he can do with their draft this year. Because Russ and Fields are both gone technically because I think they signed both a 1 year. So
I don't see them bringing Russ back. Fields maybe because he'd be a cheaper option, but I definitely don't see them bringing Russ back at all.
No, unless he talks with Sanders and they trade up real far up.
Yeah,
and get a Shador. I don't know. There's so many factors into it. They might bring back Fields. I mean, Darnold had a rough game. I mean, they're kind of in the same position that you are with the Browns. I mean, you guys got the talent there. You're just missing a piece. Do you have a bridge quarterback for a year or two? Try and win games. Try and make the playoffs. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. And then drafting that really deep quarterback class. I don't know. There might be a lot of young talents in there.
Who's going to tank the hardest for Arch Manning this year? Is the question that comes to mind.
The Giants.
The Giants, yeah.
Everybody
100%.
wants Arch Manning.
They're just going to forfeit.
I can definitely see that. I mean, they're not really wasting Neighbor's career because it's only a year off. He was a rookie this past year. Wanderlei Robinson is still relatively young-ish. Do they have a defense? I couldn't name you a player. So
Brian Burns, Spider-Man.
Oh
yeah.
So I don't know. I can see the Giants getting Arch, especially with Eli's connection and stuff. Yeah. And it's the same bonehead GM and owner, so they'll do some dumb shit. But I can
Joe
see
Shane, he might not be there much longer if he. It's hard to trade away Saquon. Then Saquon has a 2,000 yard year,
and then the clip comes out. He's not going to rush for 2,000 yards, is he? Nah.
Which they've shown that clip since week 1. And you're telling me that the owner hasn't gotten that clip yet, or I don't know. It's amazing that he still has his job, and it makes me wonder if I could just send my resume in. Just for a little bit, because I know a little bit of talent. I wouldn't trade a Saquon away. I might trade Neighbors and a few others to the Eagles just for shits and gigs. But
now that's collusion. But you know how many cards you could buy with that?
A lot of cards, dude.
It's a lot of cards.
How many kaboom can I pull? It's honestly, let's research. So
I could buy those in downtowns.
That Mickey Mantle card I could buy.
True. Yeah. The PSA 1.
There's only 40 grand PSA 1, but
you could buy like 6 of those and still have plenty.
I think Andy would kill me. Maybe 5. 5. We'll get away with 5. We'll buy 6. Okay. We'll hide 1, and we'll buy. Let's say we bought 5.
Put 1 in a safe deposit bank. Box in a bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a nice mantle piece. Get it, Mickey Mantle?
You. No.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right. The last head coaching rumor we have to talk about is Mike McCarthy's probably going to be the Bears head coach.
Yeah, I think
probably going to go in, help Caleb Williams figure out who he is, and we'll see what happens from there. But
I don't mind the signing. I don't if for the Bears, I don't think it's a plus or a minus. I think it's a lateral movement. They're just getting a coach in there just to get a new name in there. Hopefully, generates new positivity with the Bears. If he does anything well with Caleb Williams, great. If I don't know, if he doesn't, okay, cool. We'll let go of him too. No harm, no foul. I just don't think it's. I mean, you look at all these coaches. You got McDaniels out there. There's a lot of good offensive coaches, offensive minded, and with that Bears team, where essentially this past year, your defense is the only thing that was remotely positive.
That defense was really good,
and your punter. So. If I'm looking at a head coach and if I'm looking at an offensive coordinator or someone, I got all this talent being just fucking wasted right now on offense, right? You got an aging Keenan Allen, an aging Swift. You got all these guys there. DJ Moore's not getting any younger either. Still got some pop, but again, approaching that 30 age. you would want some offensive minded who has done really well with young and older players. And a McDaniels is almost that perfect opportunity. He's got that swagger of, I don't really give a shit. I'm going to go ahead and do what I want, and we'll put up 30 points a game. He didn't really do that much this year because Tua and the whole brain thing that he had, and not sliding or trying to take a hit.
Oh.
But I don't know. For the Bears, I think it's a lateral movement. I don't think there's no fireworks being set off, but nobody's digging any graves just yet. I think it's just it's a coaching bridge until someone comes across. And look, if he develops Caleb and snaps him into it, great. McCarthy looks like a god. If he doesn't, nobody will really remember Mike McCarthy after that. So
though that if it becomes official, all the Bears fans, it's Mike McCarthy, it's the savior, just like they did with Caleb, just like they did with Justin, and I just don't want to hear it.
No, true.
Because how many saviors can you have?
I mean, they can have a lot. They're they're kind of delusional, but they're still living off the Brian Urlacher.
God, he was such a good player. I had a fat head of him because I wanted to be a linebacker, but I was way too big.
But I don't know. I think Caleb will do fine. Nobody's going to have a Jaden Daniels freshman year. They're just not, right? That was a perfect situation that Jaden Daniels walked into. It worked out well. Caleb's got enough talent, but then again, we've seen good players in college become busts in the NFL. Trent Richardson, Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell. We've seen those players come across. So it might be just the Bears' shitty bad luck that they get this, again, ego, insane hype around this player, and he just doesn't produce. It's a possibility. Which honestly is a possibility going into this year's draft with Shedeur. Again, not the point. Have they really played anybody? They barely cracked the rankings. Is it all hype because your dad is Deion Sanders, who is a great ball player, who's got insane connections? You assume he's been training them since he was a little kid. I don't know. If I'm the Bears, I'm not happy. I'm not excited. I'm also not depressed. I think it's just like okay, cool, great. Mike McCarthy's here. They did well in Dallas once, and then they had a really shitty year the next year. So kind of looking for that happy medium. So they might go 8-8. I don't know.
Yeah, I think anything's I know you said it's a lateral move, but I think anything's a step up from Eberflus. He was just
Eberflus.
He was just not.
He's still got a timeout left, man. Still got one.
He's still making the face. He's still on the field making the face. Like, holy shit. We're just wasting 40 seconds for what?
He's still standing there, dude.
Confident. We knew what we were doing.
It's crazy you let people like that manage a multi-billion-dollar team and get paid millions, and he can't use the timeout. I don't get it.
All right, but that is all we had for the news. We're going to get into the Wildcard weekend here. I really wanted to just talk about the games real quick. Just pretty shocked that the Texans beat the Chargers as bad as they did. Shocked Justin Beast Herbert, as Harbaugh likes to call him, threw 5 interceptions. That game, that was just... I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No, I didn't.
Did he throw all year?
Like 3 or 4?
Yeah, not even close to 5.
I don't know if it's because, Lamar won, right? But we're all waiting for that, typical Lamar where he chokes in the playoffs. There's great quarterbacks that go in throughout the season. All of a sudden, the playoffs happen. You're like, is this the same guy that was playing all season? Like, what happened? Where is he? 5 interceptions, though.
He had 3 interceptions the whole year, and he threw 4 against the Texans.
You can't tell me the Texans. Texans defense is not bad, but they looked elite playing against this guy. They couldn't get anything down on the run game. They went down early. Outside of Ladd McConkey being the only shining star there, which I tell you what, that guy, his route running has got to be 130 on Madden this coming year.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's quick with the steps. He's good. Herbert being on fire. They got all these. They got a good solid core. The defense is pretty good too. I think we talked about it last week that the defense is relatively good. man, come playoffs. I mean, Texas is like, oh yeah, I guess now we'll play. I mean, it looked good that Mixon was, kind of back to his old ways, rushing for over 100 and touchdown. I know the few weeks prior he did not. I don't think he cracked 50 yards in any of those 4 games that he had. So good to see him back on track and Nico Collins and stuff. But I mean, are the Texans a sleeper agent? Like, have we been doubting them for the last 8 weeks, saying, okay, they're first round out? All of a sudden, they beat a pretty decent team. I mean, do they carry that momentum in, or do we see another sophomore slump playoff from C.J. Stroud?
Well, they definitely have momentum right now, and they go into Kansas City to play Patrick Mahomes and the boys. Patrick hasn't played a game in, I think, a month-ish.
Yeah, but the guys in the pinstripes, they've played plenty of games, though, right?
True.
Yeah, and I can't remember his name, but there's a ref who's reffing that game, and the Chiefs are 6-0 when he calls their games. So,
this year,
just proof.
All-time.
And then I think this year.
They didn't specify.
It's got to be this year.
Yeah.
But then the TV time, I think 2.5 hours are going to go towards the game, and the other 2.5 are going to go towards Taylor and Travis and their love apparel. So,
and that's fine. I mean, I'm all for
Taylor so terrified right now that you said that.
We are so happy about Taylor Swift. She's great.
It's just like
some would say she's a friend of the podcast.
Nope.
Oh my god!
Not at all.
Hey,
unless she shares with her billions of followers.
At least CJ finally beat Harbaugh.
True.
Yeah, that is true.
Talking about coach, I think he's a great coach for that team.
Oh true. Yeah. I mean, they had Chargers still had a good year, 11-6.
I don't think the Chargers were expecting to be in the playoffs this year.
No.
I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, but I don't think they were expecting to go as far as they did.
Well, they had such a mediocre year last year. They lost players. I mean, they lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and everybody's like, oh, Lad McConkey?
Right.
Huh.
Okay.
Johnson? Yeah. Oh, we're going to trust Quentin Johnson and Lad McConkey? J.K. Dobbins? Okay, yeah. When he plays the 3 games, yeah, he'll be good. I mean, to go for, losing 2 big names, I mean, Mike Williams either would have it out.
They lost Eckler as well. Like, I know Eckler was kind of aging, but you go to a whole new position group of players.
And they're young. They'll be there. Yeah. So, I mean, going 11 and, what was it, 11-6?
Yep, 11-6.
That's not bad. I mean, Harbaugh's doing some good stuff with those guys. They just need to fix the playoff stuff. But, not everybody can be perfect.
True. And then the other game I know Zoltowski or Fish wanted to bring up was the Bronco game, correct? Or
the
Vikings game last night.
Yeah, it's just, look, we talked about Sam Darnold. We saw his stats. His stats were good this year. 36 touchdowns. I think 12 interceptions, like 3,700 yards roughly. He had a great season for him. Career highlights from the shit that he's been to now. And the team looked hot. The defense we knew from day one. We're like, okay, who is on this defense? Don't know. They are producing top 5 worthy defenses throughout the entire year. We figure going into this game, okay, there's a reason why we kind of push this back because we really want to see that game. Man, Sam Darnold kind of panicked out there. This was, I think, his shining moment to either come back as the starter for Minnesota, give JJ another break, possibly, battle that number 1 spot, or in a more likely scenario, this was Darnold's opportunity to get the 3 to 5 year contract for 140, 160 mil. Hey, I just took this Vikings team to a 14-3 season. We won our playoff game. We might have lost the next one, but it is what it is. I'm here and I can lead a team to victory if you give me an opportunity.
Right.
I think this was the perfect time to showcase it, and I think, unfortunately, everyone saw the panic in this man's eyes. He could barely find Jay Jettis or Jordan Addison. Aaron Jones couldn't get anything going on the ground. That defense did not look great. Darnold looked panicked. He held on the ball way too long when it's bad enough when everybody's yelling, okay, you can toss it now. Like, it's okay. I don't know. I just, it's not a good look for Sam Darnold. I don't see him picking up any massive contract that he should have been deserved of. Unfortunately, this past weekend kind of deteriorated that whole situation. So,
Yeah, if I'm the Vikings, I offer Sam a 1-year deal. If he doesn't take it, I franchise tag him. We see what Sam does next year. If he's bad, put JJ in. See what JJ can do. If he's bad, it's back to the drawing board. But at least not all that money's wrapped up in Sam Darnold for 4 to 5 years with a young quarterback that's never taken a snap that you drafted high and just sitting there on your bench. So that's what I think the Vikings should do. I think they should bring Sam back. I don't think that they want him to go anywhere else. Frankly, I don't know if Sam Darnold would be that good anywhere else outside of that Kevin O'Connell system, but
could try it for trade bait. No, there is.
They could, you're right.
I mean, it's perfect opportunity, right? You offer him the year contract, like you said. He either takes it, great. We can sit JJ, let him fully heal his knee, learn behind Darnold. Understand, we'll kind of warm you into it, right? You don't need to start right away. I hate it when they start the young quarterbacks right off the rep.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. We've all seen it outside of Jaden Daniels. There is one more quarterback on that roster, and I don't want us to forget. Okay, there's one more quarterback. There's JJ. There's Sam Darnold. And then there's the Lord and Savior Daniel Jones. He could seek this opportunity and say, okay, well, if Sam doesn't want to play, I'll play here. And this could be the new reawakening for Daniel Jones of, I finally have a great receiving core. That's not just a Neighbors or Slayton, stuff like that. Got a good running back. The defense is good. Offensive line could improve a little bit, but most of the time they're fairly decent. This could be my shot to say, hey, I'm hungry. I want the starting role, or at least give me a contract. I mean, it could be a battle between all 3 quarterbacks, and how an exciting battle it would be. You just got to make sure that you keep Jay Jettas happy, because he looked very, very disappointed on that bench, being absolutely blown out by a dangerous team, which I didn't want to play in the playoffs. So
Matt Stafford in the playoffs is a different animal.
Yeah, he just does what he wants, and I don't like that. I mean,
and that defense is very good. That Rams defense is very good.
I'm very glad we don't have to play them.
Yeah.
Glad we pulled the Commanders.
Don't sleep on the Commanders.
I think it'll be a really good game. Jaden Daniels is Dynamic Daniels, as I've called him this year. But I was looking at some stats earlier. Their run defense is just low, and Montgomery's supposed to be coming back for this game. So if we have that, yep. So if we have that 2-headed monster back there, I don't think there's any stopping it.
I mean, it would be a very good matchup to see Marshawn Lattimore, who they just picked up, weeks before the season ended. Actually, right before their bye week, I think. Have him going against Amon St. Brown. I think that would be a really, really good matchup. But even if Montgomery, if they want to sit him another week, not to rush anything, I think Gibbs he's good enough.
He's still good, so good.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, Craig Reynolds has even played well.
Yeah, he's played well.
The whole team is running that momentum train, and it's looking great. It's looking great. But
does it mean Craig Reynolds is tails?
Yes. Well, tweet that now.
He can't be Shadow.
Tweet that now.
He's not cool enough to be Shadow. Sorry, Craig.
Do you think Marshawn? You think he's covering Amon-Ra, or you think he's covering J-Mo?
Amon-Ra,
no,
absolutely.
He's got to cover.
He's got a messed up leg right now too, so I don't think they should put him on the speedster at all.
Okay,
I know Amon-Ra's not slow by any means, but pick your poison.
I mean, look, Jared Goff had a rough game. The last game that he had, he's been known to kind of collapse a little bit. Nothing against him. I mean, the team should do fine, but I don't think Jared Goff should be throwing 48 times, and especially if he doesn't get his first 5 or 6 completions right off the rip, he kind of has one of those wonky games where he'll get nothing going and then pop off, or you get him going in the act and then you're like, okay, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
It's
Last game against the Vikings, he went 27 for 33 for 231 yards with only 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions. And I know the one was just like, I think there was a miscommunication between what JMO was supposed to run, because he like, I mean, it was basically like a punt out of the end zone.
Yeah.
So he almost had a third too. Van Ginkel almost picked it off on him on the screen, but
Man,
I'm excited for that game. It's the Saturday night game, I believe.
damn, it's a Saturday. I was hoping it'd be Sunday.
Yeah, it's the Saturday night game.
Wait, are we playing on Saturdays?
Yes.
Yep. Going forward, we'll play 2 games Saturday, or well, I guess this week 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, and then the conference champions I think are on the same day. Is that correct?
Yes. So this week you've got the Texans at the Chiefs at 4:30, the Commanders in Detroit at 8, and then on Saturday, and then on Sunday you have the Eagles Rams at 3, and then the Ravens and Bills. That's also going to be a very good game. Rematch from earlier in the season at 6:30 p.m. So that's a Sunday night game. I know I'll probably try and watch it with you guys here on stream, because I remember the Bills just getting beat up by the Ravens. But this is not the same Bills team that they played earlier in the year.
Yeah, well, it's also not the same Ravens team either.
It's not the same Ravens team either.
That team's honestly, they might be the most lethal outside of the Lions. That Ravens team is disgusting.
I think the Ravens hung like 290 rushing yards on the Steelers this past week, which that game ended how I thought it would. The Ravens blowing out the Steelers, but it's nuts. Actually, the rest of the games went kind of how we thought they would.
They had 299 rushing yards.
So 1 under 3. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles had something somewhere though.
Jalen Hurts did not look good though, man.
I mean, he hasn't played for 3 weeks, and nobody got open. So that's why we have Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, but he had all day though. Your offensive line looked fantastic.
Offensive line was great. I mean, we found with Jahan Dotson after holding on to the ball for 5 minutes as a quarterback. Yeah. Jaden put it on the ground and was like, all right, I'll be right back. I gotta go pay. Left, went to the tunnel, came back, picked up the ball, and then threw a fucking touchdown. That O-line
Dude, it was nuts.
Is disgusting with how much room he has. And honestly, Saquon should have had 170 yards that game.
Yeah, he just fell.
I mean, God damn it, like I love it. I appreciate you not wanting to get anybody hurt, because like he was saying, I could blow a hamstring. Somebody chasing me could get hurt too. Somebody could jump and get excited and get hurt. So I understand we clinched the game there, but fucking just take it, man. Just go for it. You deserve it. Just go for it, man.
All I saw on Twitter after that play was people bet Saquon anytime touchdown.
Like this.
Yep.
Yeah. God damn it.
It's rough. So
AJ Brown he opened a book on the sideline.
Yeah,
and that book has now become #1 bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah, that guy went to bed. He's like, "Oh man, I'm about to quit writing. This sucks. I hate it." He woke up and he's like, "Oh, I guess, hey guys, tweeting it out. Book number 2 coming here soon."
It's hysterical.
I'd be sending all kinds of copies of shit to great.
Sirianni did comment on that. I don't know if you saw that, Fish or Nutter, that he said some guys pray, some guys meditate. AJ reads. It's whatever they need to do to get into that mode, that focus mode. And I'm like, how are you going to get focused on football if you're sitting there reading a book?
Right. I was watching the Barstool does like a watch along stream with the football games. I like to tune into those sometimes, especially when the Eagles play, just because one of the Barstool guys is a crabby Eagles fan like Fish is. And that video or that part of the game came up and AJ's just sitting there reading, and he just goes, "Is he reading a book right now?" He was so mad. It was so funny though. But yeah, I think the games next week are going to be great. Probably the one that I'm least excited for is that Kansas City Houston game, but maybe Houston,
I don't know, man.
Maybe they upset them.
I hope they do. I hope they do. That Chiefs defense is really good, though.
Chiefs defense has stepped up. Their offense has gone down thanks to Miss Patty running his own fucking player. But yeah, that Chiefs defense is nothing to joke about. We talked about it earlier this year. I mean, they're fairly good. Kind of don't know where they came from either, because the year before they were ranked high teens, 20s. So they're doing something right over there in Kansas City, defensively at least.
Spagnola, dude.
And we all know Patty's going to do Patty things. It's kind of almost that same impression of, doesn't really matter who he has on offense. He'll find a way to win, unfortunately, whether it's, the refs helping or whatever it may be. But he genuinely does do well with, the Juju Smith-Schusters and, aging players. So, I don't know. It'll be an interesting game. Very interesting. But the least exciting one out of that bunch, in my opinion, by miles.
The last thing I want to bring up for this upcoming weekend is the Lions and Commanders game. Over under 2.5 punts collectively. What are we doing? We taking that or
Taking the over?
I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under.
There's
100%
no way
taking
either
the
of
under.
the Dans are punting that game.
Put a coffee on it. Put a coffee on it.
I'll put a coffee on it.
Put a coffee on it. Now you want to put a coffee on it?
The Commanders had 0 turnovers and 0 punts.
All right, so we're over 2 punts, right? That's what I got over 2.
Over 2.5.
I don't know what you see, like kind of kick it.
It's just so it can't be 2 and the bet goes away. If it's 2 or less, it's me and Zolkowski. If it's 3, it's you.
What do you mean if it's 2 or less?
Because 2 is still under 2.5. It's so it can't push.
All right, cool. I can't wait to get 7 coffees.
We're gonna sit down and we're gonna have just like a seminar, me and you, about sports betting.
No, we honestly can't get wrapped up in anything. I've been clicking.
About what the over-unders mean, about why they do halves.
No, because I'll look at it and be like, yeah.
Looks like a good bet.
Oh, I could do that.
You're selling my dad.
All right, so one question
it took
for you,
Jay
Fish.
Jetta 6.5 catches this week. How you get half a catch?
What's up?
So what, as an Eagles fan, what is the scariest thing about this Rams team to you?
Stafford. Kyron Williams is going to get Kyron Williams stuff. He'll probably rush for at least 70 yards, right? He'll have some receiving out of the back as well. But I'm more worried about Stafford. Stafford during the regular season is mediocre, average, a little bit above average. Playoff Stafford's a different monster, like you said. We saw this past weekend when he played, he went, 10 for 10 or 12 for 12 or something like that. It looked, he was doing some sidearm shit. He was doing some, I'm going to do 360 spin, no scope type throws. He was finding, and honestly, it's not even the 3-headed monster that we all thought, because it seems like Cooper Kupp has done something to really piss somebody off the last 4 or 5 weeks, because he's been a non-factor since then. Puka, we know what Puka can do. He's a big physical receiver with speed, with good route running. He'll get his catches. He'll probably have 7 or 8 catches, maybe for 100 yards and a touchdown. I'm not really sure. Slay's been playing really well. Guantanamo Bay should be also covering him as well. Plus, if we throw the nickel in there with Cooper, Dijon, Mustard, it should be able to kind of help shade some of Puka's catches. But Stafford's the biggest worry for me. And I'm not so crazy sure about the defense. Like, the defense is good with Fisk and who's the other one? Verse?
Verse.
Like, I think Kellen Moore is smart enough, and we have enough weapons where we can scheme against that, which is fine. But playoff Stafford, and we've seen him in the past, he is very, very hard to, 1, stop, and 2, try and break him out of his streak. It's very rare that he gets in a funk and stays in that funk long. So we need to hit hard and strong and get Saquon involved. Let him rush, do the thing. Dallas Goedert had a great catch last week too. We just need Hurts to kind of snap into it a little bit. But Stafford's the biggest playoff. Stafford's the biggest concern for me, which he'll feed Kyron and Puka, and that could be an issue. It's been an issue in the past. I feel more comfortable this year with the layers of defensive players and Cornell that we have. But I don't know. It's these games worry me because everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Eagles should win this easy." No, it's the playoffs. No game is won easy anymore. Yeah, so I mean, it's the same thing like the Lions and Commanders. Oh yeah, the Lions will blow them out of the water. You never know.
I think it'll be a close game.
Nothing's a guarantee. So playoff Stafford worries me. Outside of that, I think we do the clock management. Sirianni stays out of the playbook. We should be fine.
Yeah, so I was about to say, you guys need to play the time of possession game.
Which we've done well. The team is not dumb about it. Offensive line looks great. Defensively, unfortunately, losing to Kobe Dean for the rest of the year does hurt. He was him and Zach Bond were, holy shit, incredible up there as linebackers. What a 1-2 combo there. But good news is we kind of get to see what the young Axeman does and see how he does as his real first start. Hopefully. I know we signed a couple guys off of practice squad and some free agents just kind of filling that extra gap there, but Nakobe Dean will be missed. But Trotter Jr. could be the next truth, just like his dad. So we'll see what happens.
Rams are 6.5-point favorites in that game.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. We love playing the underdog.
I'll just go through the lines real quick. Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites at home. Detroit is 9.5-point favorites at home.
That's 9.5.
Yep. Philly is 6.5-point favorites at home, and then the Bills are 1.5-point underdogs at home against the Ravens.
That makes sense.
So will definitely be interesting to see if those lines will stay or if they'll move at all before the game Saturday and Sunday.
We'll see.
Yeah, let's get into our new game, our new segment here that I'm tentatively calling Trivia Time. Who's that dude?
I'm easily going to be the worst at this. I'm not very good at this game.
All right, so we'll play. I have 5 scenarios. We'll play to the best of 3.
Congrats, Zoltowski.
All right, I'm going to flip a coin, Fish your heads, Zoltowski's tails, for who asked the first question for this first guy, okay?
Oh, God.
It is heads. So, Fish, you get the first question on the first player.
I'm going to go ahead and shoot in the dark. Is it A.J. Brown?
You can. It's not, but you can guess. Like,
all right, is it AFC?
He is no longer in the league.
Oh,
come on, man.
Who? Okay.
We got 12 hours on the segment here.
Jesus. Is he an offensive player?
Offensive player, yes.
Okay.
Is he a receiver?
He is not a receiver.
Is he a skill player?
He is not a skill player. Skill players are running back, tight end, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah. Is he a quarterback?
He is a quarterback.
Hey, Zoltowski.
We're getting
moving in the right direction.
Before he left the league, was the last team he played for in the NFC?
Let me see.
Oh my God, he doesn't
You don't even have this pulled up yet?
No, I do. I'm scrolling down.
I'm sweating. I'm so
the
nervous.
last team he played for,
I'd rather ghost hunt.
I got him on dots.
Was in the NFC.
The NFC. Okay.
In the NFC. And he's
Yes.
a quarterback.
He is a quarterback.
Like I want to say Kevin Cobb, but
It's not that deep.
Did the last team that he played for, was it in the NFC East?
No, it was not.
Okay, Zoltowski?
The last team he played for were they in the NFC North?
No.
NFC West?
No.
Okay, hey, we narrowed it down. NFC
Narrowed it down.
There we go. Bitches, Matt Ryan.
Is that your guess?
Well, it's Zoltowski's turn, but it could be my guess.
Does he have an overall like winning record as like overall career record? Is it winning?
I will tell you his career record. Regular season, his career record 75, 68, and 1.
It sounds like Matt Ryan.
You can ask accolades. You can ask jersey number. You can ask any of that stuff.
Ask him how long his neck was.
It's your turn.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your question.
Is that Matt Ryan?
It's not Matt Ryan.
Damn it.
Is it Drew Brees?
It is not Drew Brees.
Damn.
Ooh, Michael Vick.
It is not Michael Vick.
Oh, dude, it's Cam Newton for sure. Cam Newton.
Yeah, this is Cam Newton.
It is Cam Newton. Zoltowski.
Hey, good job. That's fine. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a team
Hey,
effort.
I just think we count how many questions it takes for us both to get them. Let us work together as a team.
Oh, I did not count that. I have no idea how many questions
that's fine.
was.
That's fine. You know, we'll keep going.
I have 4 guesses, by the way, and one was off the rip.
Yeah,
Well, let me get a pen and paper real quick. So
I was trying to 5-head this so big. So if I got AJ Brown, I said, okay, F this. We're going to the lottery. We're getting tickets.
Buying 40 tickets. You ever seen that movie about the
I have 40 hobby boxes.
with Bryan Cranston where he plays the lottery after he retires?
No, I
know what you're talking about.
It's a great movie, actually. I really like that. It's set in Michigan too. I think he worked for Kellogg, and they like basically force him into retirement. He's bored as hell. Finds a loophole in the lottery. It's got Rainn Wilson, Bryan Cranston. God, I can't remember his wife's name. I can't even remember the name of them. Off the top
I'll have
of my
to check
head.
it out. Are you guys ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
We'll do heads or tails. Well, we'll just let Zoltowski go first and see
Yeah,
where first.
Okay.
So AJ Brown. Is it AJ Brown?
Is it AJ Brown?
It's not AJ Brown.
That's not my actual guess. All right, let's defensive player.
No.
Okay.
Is he a kicker?
No.
Was he a skill player?
He's not a skill player.
Is he AFC?
No.
Okay, so back in the NFC again. Okay.
Well, ask if it's current or past.
Is he currently in the league?
He is.
This guy's such a jackass.
He's currently in the league.
And he's not a skill player.
He's not a skill player.
Is he a skill player on the defense?
No, he's an offensive player.
He's an offensive player.
Turns out I've been watching a lot. Is he a quarterback?
He is a quarterback.
Oh, another quarterback.
Another quarterback.
Another quarterback.
Right. And you asked if he was in the AFC, right, Fish?
Yeah, so
okay. NFC East?
No.
I'm going to go NFC North.
Yes.
Is it Teddy Bridgewater?
It is not Teddy Bridgewater. Is that your
Oh,
guess?
dude, that's a shot in the dark. That's great.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Is that your question?
Do I get a guess and a question if I get the guess wrong? Or
you can have
how
a
does this
guess
work?
and a question. Yeah.
Okay. So we got a quarterback in the NFC North.
He's current, right? He's currently playing?
Currently playing.
Oh, dude. Come on. This is so easy.
Yeah. Is he a rookie?
No.
No, he's not a rookie. He's not a rookie. He plays with the Vikings. Danny Dimes.
No, it's not Danny Dimes.
He's not. Dude, that was the perfect opportunity, man.
Oh, man.
If it was Danny Dimes, I'd have lost my mind.
Is it Jordan Love?
Fish toss to ask a question.
Oh, God.
Oh.
That's right.
Does he? Here you go, Zoltowski. Does he play for Green Bay?
He does not.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, Jordan Love is not the answer, by the way. Oh, so,
Is it Mitch Trubinsky?
It is not. No.
God, was he on a winning team this year?
Yes. Very much so.
oh, cool. So eliminates the
okay.
Bears.
Well,
Oh, is it? Oh shit! It's my turn. Sorry.
yeah, there's only two teams left because we know it's not the Packers.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably take a shot. Is it Sam Darnold?
No.
The Jared Goff.
It is Jared Goff.
Oh, Jared
Why do we need
Jared Goff.
15 other quarterbacks besides Jared Goff?
Because I'm thinking he's gonna pull some fast shit like, oh,
That's why I went for Danny Dimes. Like
I know, right?
We've been talking about
it
him all season. We've been talking about this guy.
Like
You said, was he on a winning team? I said, very much so.
okay, the Vikings went 14-3.
But one team went better than that.
Okay, you're gonna tell me that 14-3 is not a very much so winning team. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
It's honestly better than 2 divisions right now.
Yeah,
in the NFC.
Yeah. Are you guys want to do one more?
Yeah.
One more.
All right. This last one gonna be a little bit tougher.
Oh God.
So this is going to be some type of lineman.
But Fish, I think you have the first question, right?
Yeah.
I do. Is it a kicker?
No.
I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to get that.
AFC.
Most recently, no.
Most recently. Oh, so he's not in the league anymore. Okay.
No, he is.
No.
He is.
Oh, there we go. Good job, Zoltaski. Way to beat that out of him.
Thank you. They call me. I'm not going to say it.
Stop, family stream. Does he currently play for someone in the NFC East?
No.
I just love a guess in my division, you know?
The NFC West.
Nope.
Cool. Is it the North?
It is the North.
It's honestly, we're just playing favorites. Is it Danny Dimes?
It's no.
Is it Danny Dimes?
It's not Danny Dimes.
Oh, there's got to be.
Is it Jack Campbell?
It is not Jack Campbell.
Ooh, how about, okay, so it's a current player.
Yes.
Not okay, so it's not a coach. I thought you were gonna slip in like a Dan Campbell or Ben Johnson in there. Is he on the defensive line?
He is not on the defensive line.
Sweating that one.
What'd you say?
Sweating that one.
Oof. Is he a linebacker?
He's not a linebacker.
Oh, I ruled out long-haired Anzoni or something.
Anzalone.
I want to.
Or as Fanatics has been pronouncing it. Family-friendly stream, can't say it.
Okay, is he?
How do you get a bad word out of Anzalone?
Switch.
Stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
It clicked. It clicked.
It's just
What an
like
unfortunate last name.
it's really not though. It's just the people that don't know how to spell. You know.
That's
No,
awesome.
someone. Sorry, quick sidebar. Someone from Fanatic. We all saw the Fanatics fiasco that went down. Someone got that on their jersey from Fanatics for Christmas. They unwrapped that.
I think I'd keep it.
Yeah, I definitely keep it. I'm not returning it. Is he a receiver?
No, man.
Did we already ask that?
I think we established he was on defense, did we not?
No.
If you've been guessing
Okay.
on defensive players.
Okay. The defense. Are you including special teams in defense?
No.
Okay, so it's just defense. In
Could
the
he be a
North.
receiver?
Does he play for the Lions?
He does not.
Great.
He never has.
Is he a cornerback?
He is a cornerback.
Is it Zaire Alexander?
No.
God,
Cornerbacks.
This guy's a legend. You guys can get this. He's a living playing legend.
living playing legend who plays in the NFC North, not for the Lions.
And he's a corner.
Oh, my brain is just not.
Ask me questions.
Does he
you'll
play
get
for
closer.
the Vikings?
He does play for the Vikings.
Okay. Does she know any of the Vikings cornerbacks? Because I don't.
That's the crazy thing because we used to, and then they just don't have.
Apparently, he's a living legend.
He's a
And I remember, I feel like I've seen stuff about him lately, but but I can't remember his name.
5-time Pro Bowler, Defensive Player of the Year as a corner, Super Bowl champion.
Hold on. Is he the number one?
I'm not sure now, but definitely used to be. He's played for 6 teams.
Jesus.
Oh.
Even split NFC, AFC.
Yes.
Big Fish knows who it is.
I think I do because
I'm gonna hear it, and I'm gonna know too.
You're gonna slap your forehead so hard.
It's your turn, right, Zoltowski?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of his name because
he's played with like 3 or 4 teams the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
Correct.
because that's the thing about the Vikings defense is they were just kind of thrown together.
I'm gonna say one guess when it's my turn, and you're gonna slap your face.
Just guess it at this point. I don't have a question. Just guess it.
Okay. Did he play with the Patriots?
Yes.
Stephon Gilmore.
Yep, Stephon Gilmore.
Yep, that's who it is, mother.
Yeah, because I remember that guy was so good, and all of a sudden he just bounced from team to team. I was like,
He's been on 4 different teams the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
I did have 2 more scenarios for you guys, but
Was Danny Dimes or an Eagle? Was any of that?
no.
I can't wait till you're in the hot seat. I'm gonna name players in the 20s. Fuck you.
Well, see, I didn't go that far back.
I'm shafting you guys.
The last 2 were Amari Cooper and T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton would have been tough to get. Amari.
Yeah, Amari.
Do you know what T.Y. Hilton's real name is?
No.
Eugene Marquis.
Were you going to tell
Wild.
us Eugene Marquis?
Oh, I was going to tell you T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. That was a fun little segment. It was a good time.
I enjoyed it.
It was
Enjoyed
good.
it a lot.
The hot seat sucks, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, I did make a little amendment to the draft. It's movies and TV shows. Make it a little bit easier.
Okay, that works for me.
So you know what I'm talking about, right? Like products you wish were real that aren't real in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to randomize the order here. Hit our drum roll. It is Fish, then Zoltowski, then me.
It's so tough. I'm gonna go.
Just for the people, I know some people skip to this part, but this is best fictional products and movies from, or I'm sorry, best fictional products from TV shows and movies. We have to include the movie, TV show, and the product.
Okay. First pick, I'm gonna go with the first Neuralizer and Men in Black.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a
I
great
think
pick.
that would be so sick to just talk to somebody and then boom, gone, and then you make up some story. I could see how it could be really, really bad in the wrong hands, though. So
Neuralizer.
I wouldn't give it to you, that's for sure.
no, I would like one hobby box. Boom! I said 12 hobby boxes free. Crazy. He's such
you
a
know what? As
problem.
long as you let me open like 2 or 3 of them, I'll help you carry them out.
I'll open them all and then zap you and say, "Dude, you opened them. It's crazy."
I'll let you. You can keep all the cards. I just want to open them.
It's just
Like
like
a-
the best, though.
Back.
All right.
Itch.
Oh God. This is hard.
It's not easy.
It's not
That-
easy.
There's so many of them out there. I'm like, oh, that would be cool to have.
It's hard, but I feel like once we get on a roll, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I want the. You know what? Give me the hoverboard from Back to the Future.
That's a great
Good one.
pick. That was on my list.
That's a good one.
Yep. I know it's like top up there. Just give it to me.
I am actually staying with Back to the Future, and I'm going with the DeLorean time machine.
That'd be kind of cool.
I would. Yeah. Just don't delete yourself from existence.
I'll put Back to the Future picks right back to back here. And that's my pick again on the turn here.
A turn.
I'm between a couple different ones, and I think I'm gonna have to go with lightsaber from Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Yeah,
that
I
just
wasn't
think
like
it'd be
one of the
yeah.
first. Yeah, I get that.
Lightsaber.
I get that.
All right, Zoltaski, you're on the clock, buddy.
Oh, I hate that I'm on the clock again already. I feel like it. God. You know what? Give me an Iron Man suit from any of the Marvel
You
Iron Man movies.
Bastard.
That's sick. That's a big Iron Man suit as well.
Hey,
Yo,
dude,
dude,
and not as big as the Hulkbuster. Like I'm good.
I don't know. It's close.
Wow,
Yeah,
It's definitely Dorito shaped. That's for sure.
I'm gonna
unbelievable.
need a fuel cell for mine. Jesus Christ!
Nuts just gonna have a nuclear reactor on the back of his,
Give
like an
me
actual one.
all the power to my boosters, Jarvis.
Oh, that's
I need to
great.
make it up this 3-foot step.
Ugh. This is my go.
It's your go.
I'm gonna go with something that we've seen in our childhood a lot, especially watching. What was it? I think the toys came to life. That's right, Toy Story. I'm gonna go with Pizza Planet. That damn pizza looks so good. I would love to get a slice from that.
What if I told you it was real?
It is real.
What is
They
it
have
really?
they have it at Disney.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, Andy, if you're listening, we gotta play in Disney.
Oh, I'm sure she's down.
Oh yeah, she loves Disney.
We're supposed to do a big
I'm
group
in.
trip to Disney.
Yeah, we're supposed to do a big group trip to New York too. We're subway people now. We know how to navigate that.
I'm in.
We're Subway guys.
And then on the turn, I would love to go with a little Wonka chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm sure
It's
something out
also
there.
real.
Yeah, but it's not the
It's
same.
not.
It's not the same.
No.
Like Wonka could customize any of the chocolate that you want to the kid or your taste buds. We just have milk, light, and dark, and it's just not the same.
That's true.
It's not made with love.
Got to make the Wonka bar with love.
You have to.
There's Zoltaski.
I mean, I'm up. All right.
You're up again, buddy.
Give me a big Kahuna burger from Pulp Fiction.
Oof.
Big Kahuna burger.
Honestly, if I ever get one of those, I hopefully the place gets robbed. Because that would just complete the entire scene.
Helps with the ambiance.
Yeah, naturally.
I hate to go back to another vehicle, but I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go with Batmobile.
What if I told you that was real?
It already exists.
And
You don't like when somebody shits on your bird.
Joe Burrow owns one.
He's going to own one.
Oh, that's right. Because he's your new favorite player on your favorite team, right?
He is.
Or is that the Ravens that you're switching to? I can't remember. You flip flop so often.
Browns fan through and through.
Right. I'll ask you next week.
I'm going to put the Dark Knight version.
Oh,
'Cause
the
I think
Tumbler? Yeah, the Tumbler's
it's
badass.
sick.
That'll be pretty sick.
I'll have something that can take me back to the future, and I'll have something that I can just be in a tank. All right. And, with my last pick here, I might lose you guys.
Oh, you've lost me
So
already.
I'm
Let me-
already gone.
Let me explain. Do I want to go this route?
You're going to go Sex Panther, aren't you?
No, I'm not. Are you like on the same list I'm on, or what?
1,000%. 1,000%.
I'm gonna go with
Is the one below that Cheesy Poofs?
no.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a Pokeball.
Yeah.
I hate
But,
you.
hold on. Now. What are you capturing in a Pokeball? And it's not Power World. You can't capture other humans. That's illegal. What are you going to
What
capture?
I would do is if I were to like go overseas on a trip and I wanted to take my pet with me, I just put him in a Pokeball, and then we'd land.
Yeah, but how's it going to eat in the Pokeball? You're going to release the Pokeball after a 16-hour trip. It's going to be dead.
You tell me how Pokemon eating Pokeballs.
Yeah, well, Pokemon's in really a non-existent place right now. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just okay.
The same way.
All right. When you show the kids, hey guys, look at my little pet, and then there goes your cat.
He'll need to stretch his legs.
Or if you caught a ostrich or a giraffe at the zoo and you pocketed it, actually,
would you fight it then?
I'd take on the ostrich for sure, 100%.
There's no shot.
Yeah, absolutely could take it on. You see those little steak legs it has? I'm sidekicking that thing. Done. Done. You could owe me 2 coffees by the end of this weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot of coffees. I might.
I'll drink about in 30 minutes.
I'm a tea guy now, by the way. I love hot tea. Been drinking it the last month at work. It's been great.
God, you've changed.
I'm a hot tea guy. I'm gonna get that little hat too. I'm gonna get an old British hat. The little I don't know what the hell the thing's called.
There's a British hat.
You know what I'm talking about. It's
the one with like the curves and then it goes flat.
The 3-point hat.
No,
like Paul Revere wore.
I don't. No.
Oh, you're talking like Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
That's okay. Yeah.
I want a hat like that now while I drink my hot tea.
You're just a cartoon character.
Try to be. Is it my go?
With your big jacket? No, it's Zoltowski.
No, it's my go.
I love my big jacket.
Give me the instant ramen from Dragon Ball Super that Beerus eats, because if it's good enough for a god to think it's that good, it's got to be delicious.
That's a great call. See, that is realistic.
Yeah. I love a good.
Parentheses here.
I love a good instant ramen.
I love a good pho.
Doesn't instant ramen have like 30,000 milligrams of sodium in it?
Yeah, but no one's counting. Okay.
Yeah, that's also if you don't. I drain the broth. I cook it in the broth, and then I drain the broth. You don't.
That's a little blasphemy.
Listen. Just listen. Drain the broth. Hot buffalo tuna, cheese. Mix it up. More cheese on top. Microwave it again. Melt the cheese. Hot sauce.
I'm sorry. Hot buffalo tuna.
Yep.
That sounds gross. I got a buddy of mine at work that eats that. It sounds gross with other hot things. I'm not doing that.
You don't do spicy?
No, I could do the spicy. I think it's the fact of warming up tuna into a noodle bowl.
I'm telling you, dude.
It's kind of giving me the egg, you know?
The spiciest fish gets is barbecue sauce. Let's be honest.
No, it's mild
No,
at B-Dubs because it's not mild at B-Dubs. It's, I'm going to set your ass on fire sauce at B-Dubs.
And also, at pho, he added a lot of sriracha in there.
I add a shit ton of sriracha. And when I eat curry, I add a lot of heat to it.
Look, there's a difference between heat for just heat and heat for flavor.
Yeah, I do heat for flavor. Stamper does heat for heat, so when he sweats, sweat gets into his bowl of soup and gives it a little bit more sodium. I don't want that.
I'll never forget that.
I thought he was going to die that day. I thought he was
at a Thai restaurant, Zoltowski. He got level 5, which was their highest level. This man's head turned red. His entire head was red.
You can ask Stamper or you can ask Liz about the lobster roll. I told you guys about the lobster roll I had at the food truck festival. It was delicious.
Yeah, expensive.
But yeah, it was expensive. It's a lobster roll. But man,
landlocked lobster.
You know how they're like, oh yeah, this is really hot. Like, or like, how much sauce do you want on it? And they're always like, you think they're bullshitting you? And I'm like, yeah, just I'm living on the edge. Go for it. She's like, are you sure? Like, this is gonna burn your asshole. I'm like, you know what? Let's risk it for the biscuit. That was hot. That was real hot.
Sounds hot.
No.
Are you guys ready for
now it's Fish's go.
Soho? In a couple weeks?
Is that a couple weeks?
I love good sushi.
It's first weekend in February.
Going for the food.
I invited you and Andy.
I think Andy's working. She's dodging the bullet this year.
Invited you and Liz, of course.
Yeah, we're going.
Not Arthur though. We can't have Arthur licking the pipe or anything.
Arthur can come for sure.
We're gonna just make it an us thing. Grandma's gonna watch them. It's nice to have it be Zach and Liz. Just sometimes. I'm sorry if that's disappointing.
No, not at all.
I feel like you're lying to me.
No, not at all.
Take it or leave it, to be honest.
I made it early enough so that you guys. I tried to make sure everybody could like come down and spend a little bit of time before they had to go back.
I think there's a crumble cookie right over there too.
There's a game shop over there.
In fact, there's a crumble cookie
and a Target.
There is also a Target.
What time's the party?
6.
I'll be there on there too.
We open hobby boxes at the restaurant.
We'll bring my not at the restaurant. They're not near the flames.
All the bad cards you throw in the griddle.
All the Deshaun's that you pull, you just throw them in the griddle.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be money worth one day.
Mix something with these.
Okay, so for my last pick, I'm a big pomade kind of guy with my hair it's slicked back, like a little mobster. I'm gonna go with some Oh Brother Where Art Thou Dapper Dan pomade. If it keeps his hair slicked back when he's running through God knows what without showering and it just looks good, I think it could hold my hair. I would love some Dapper Dan pomade.
Respectable pick. I know you do love your hair.
I do love it. Some say it's the best quality on me. It's my hair.
Can't wait till it starts going away.
But you have your flat cap on, so you wouldn't be able to see your hair.
Right, but when I take the flat cap off, like when I'm walking into a house or meeting someone for the first time, and they see the slick back hair, they know. They know.
It's a good thing about the pomade. You can manipulate it later.
Absolutely. And now full length Pico, by the way. So,
do you have a specific brand that you always use?
I've been trying some stuff here and there. I think the one I got has got an anchor on it. I had to look at. I used the Paul Mitchell shit. I mean, it was okay for a little bit. This stuff really kind of keeps it in place. My hair just does its own thing. It's so damn thick. I need to get it cut first off. I need to find a good barber over here. You can't go to your. Well, you can. You'll have to drive a while to go to your salon now. Yeah, I don't want to, park the boat or park the car on a boat to then travel across the sea to then go to my barber. So I got to look at reviews. I got some recommendations over here to go get it done.
Yeah,
you know how I am with hair. I mean, it'll grow back within 4 days anyway if they botch it, but it's just my little thing. So
love a good barber. My dad's barber back in Toledo just does a fantastic job, and it's the whole 9 yards. The hot towel, razor shave. Actually, that's what I was going to tell you. But there's a brand called Blackstone that he used that I really like. I still have a thing of it of their holding. They do have a pomade for you.
I might. It's
like $12.
Text me that if you don't mind.
Yep.
All right, good picks, boys.
Good draft. I like all of these things.
I didn't know if that was going to be a fun draft or not, but I knew it was kind of a curveball. So
that was good. Good little draft.
Good draft. Good episode. Good fun little game there. I can't wait to do that game more. I think it's going to be fun.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm with Fish. I can't wait to put you in the hot seat.
Oh, we're putting me in the hot seat? I thought I was always going to be the guy to do that.
Absolutely not. You.
No, you should rotate it.
I'm going to have to send you guys this website then.
Or right, we get a special guest on, and either they can be part of the games, or they can quiz us with their own players that they decided. Tony, if you want in, yeah.
Well, we can do this with. This doesn't have to just be football. We can do this with actors, TV shows. This with a ton of shit.
Why don't we do baseball players or soccer players?
I mean, I'm in for the baseball. I'll give that one a shot. Is it Adley Rutschman?
I hate you.
Is it Juan Soto?
Ken Griffey Jr.?
Barry Bonds?
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on this.
I'll send you guys the link tonight.
Yeah, please do.
Please do.
All right, good show. You guys got anything to say to the people before we go?
No. We appreciate you guys keep listening to us and all of our shenanigans and antics. So, thanks for sticking through it.
Stay warm.
More coming.
Stay warm next week.
Oh yeah, be safe.
It's gonna be cold here in Ohio.
It's supposed to be really everywhere. it's gonna be cold everywhere.
Oh, snowing.
Oh, please, no more snow. I'm done with it.
You get a lot of snow.
No more snow, dude. I'm done.
So
Sounds
much.
like you should have picked something practical for your fictional products to get rid of snow.
Yeah.
I'll just go back in time where there's no snow.
I mean, a
Take
lightsaber actually might do the
Lightsaber out
job
and
pretty
melt
well.
it.
The lightsaber's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna cut a line in the snow.
I don't know. You know those got to radiate heat.
I'm gonna put my pomade in, create a shovel, and just shovel everything out.
Fair enough.
Also, I've got a tank. I don't know if you saw that pic, but I have
Yeah,
a literal
actually.
tank.
You could catch snow with your Pokeball.
I could
Maybe you'll find
And then-
an ice type in there.
throw it at you.
Maybe. God, can you imagine that? I'm yoinking the Pokeball running from it.
All right.
All right, going to hunt
All right.
ghosts.
Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.
All right.
GG. Thanks for being a gent. Love you.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.